So welcome on this rainy day at CGSC to an awesome ceremony to promote Anthony Clas from captain to major. So this is the first promotion to major that I've done. So when Anthony approached me and said, "Hey sir, so you gotta get an after today, right?" So I kind of searched myself, and major's a strange time because as captains we're always told, promotion to field grade officers is something monumental. You're expected to do more, grow well and live, all these kind of things. And so, along with a great paycheck, nobody's ever told us, okay, exactly what is expected. What's this monumental jump from company grade to field grade? So over the last couple of days, I've kind of searched myself, and I thought, okay, what is it that's the Army looks for in a major? And so several things came to mind. And so I know a normal promotion ceremony is you go through the person's background and so forth. We all know Tony, Commander Public Detachment, Fort Hood, strategy and plans in the J9 right after I left MDB, so I know how difficult that job is. So we all know Tony. But what does it mean going from a field or company grade to a field grade? So there's 4 different things that I thought of: humility, work ethic, communication, and listening. And so that's what I think the Army wants from a newly minted field grade officer. And so in the short time that I've known Tony, he's exhibited all these. For example, humility. So I'm an overachiever, for lack of a better word. Sometimes my products aren't that great, but I tend to work twice as hard to get half the product completed. So I approached Tony, I said, well, what do you want me to do for the promotion ceremony? We're gonna dress up in our ASUs, we're gonna go get a nice area and the whole thing. He's like, no, I don't need any accolations for myself. And so that's been pretty prevalent in the interaction I've had with Tony. Very humble. But also with humility is a very positive attitude, because with humility comes, accolades to others and positive things and interactions you have with individuals. So every time I see Tony smile, every time I meet him, because I'm on his MMAS committee as his chair, he brings me all this work. Instead of having a drudgery look on his face, like, man, I got papers to do, I got this, he's very excited about it. Hey sir, I got all this great stuff. Very positive, very humble. And I'm like, man, this is a great product. Oh, I do adequate, I'm okay. So a very humble individual. So that's what the Army wants. So the next step, work ethic. So like I said, we're always told as field grade officers, you will work harder, you will do harder, you'll always answer the mail because you're no longer a captain. And so that's true, because that's what the Army expects from us. So once again, the interaction I've had with Tony is the old adage, answering the mail. Well, my interaction with Tony is that he answers the mail before the mail's even sent. He'll come into my office and say, hey, I've got this, here's my question, here's my research approach, here's all this great stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you not only figured out the question that CGSC is going to ask you for your MMAS, but you've already solved it, and then you come to me and there's absolutely nothing I can do for you. So that is a great indication of what the Army expects from a field grade officer. Third thing is listening. Going back to C200. Now, since I'm in front of the greatest staff group in CGSC, I can't pass up the opportunity to, relate things back to the curriculum, right? It's ingrained in us as fact. So in Charlie 200, we talked about strategy, taking strategic guidance, translating it through all the different products, the JSCAP, the GEF, translating it into a theater campaign plan, and so forth and so on. And so it was a very nebulous kind of curriculum. And the experience that you have, there's no checklist. It's kind of like nailing Jello to a wall. But that's what the Army wants from us. We're no longer company grade officers that are following checklists, convoy checklists, right? We are the ones that have to take that nebulous guidance and translate it into something viable. So the listening part is extremely critical, because field grade officers are expected to be authors of critical documents, right, that can affect people's lives, change policy. Like I said, always be the ones that answer the mail. And so Tony has exhibited that extremely in the last couple months that I've had the pleasure to know him. So the final one is communication. The Army expects field grade officers to communicate. And so that not only means written, verbal. That's why CGSE pounds you guys with all these papers, deadlines, and so forth, because that's what will be expected in as we progress in our career. And so it's understanding that guidance, really encapsulating it and doing the right thing. But more importantly, it's always being able to answer the question. Because as a field grade officer, if you're approached with something, you might not have a clue. But as a higher major, as a field grade officer, you're expected to answer that question. Finally, and more importantly, the Army expects us to communicate the love of what we do throughout everything that we do. And once again, Tony exhibits that character trait perfectly. He's always excited about what he's doing. He's excited to be here. He's excited to be part of the staff group. He's excited to be part of CGSC. Excited to do research. I mean, that takes a considerable amount of gumption to do. And so with all that, Tony, it's my pleasure and my honor to welcome you into the ranks of the field grade. So with that,
Attention orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Anthony M. Clas. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the United States Army to the rank of Major. By order of the Secretary of the Army, signed Anthony J. Peete, Chief Office of Promotion Management.
so I'm a very superstitious person. This was given to me by the Chief of Plans at M&DB. One of the most awesome people that I've respected in my career. He got promoted below the zone of lieutenant colonel. And while he didn't pin me, because I was still a baby captain at the time, he took the time to bring this to me. He said, Ken, I want you to have this because of that lineage, that connection. So, Tony, there's no better person that I could pass this along to. So, if you don't mind, I would love to send this on.
Roll.
So the next part, and it's not required, but it's a reaffirmation of the oath of office that we've all taken. So it's a very quick kind of thing. You go through a promotion ceremony and you hear the oath of office, blah, 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 everything's great, and you're done. So I just want to take a couple minutes and talk about what the oath actually means. So when an officer raises their right hand and states their name, they make a personal oath. Right? It's a commitment to the core values of the Army. So the next piece, having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States in the rank of major, signifies a appointment, presidential appointment, and also that person's place, honor, and respect within the profession of arms. So the next piece, the most important piece, that I will defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So if you take that sentence out, that I will. We have all done that. And as a field grade officer, we have to do more of it. That I will. That I will sacrifice my time, that I will sacrifice my family, that I could possibly sacrifice my life in the pursuit and the support and defense of the Constitution. And it's not a piece of paper. It is a ideal. And it's a belief, our belief in those ideals. And then the United States, our first allegiance. And so the very last part of the oath is, so help me God. Now, irregardless of religion, it's a belief in a higher purpose. And it's also it also signifies that we aren't alone in this journey. So all of us are together. You're joining the ranks of field grade officers. You are not alone in this reaffirmation of the oath. All of your brothers and sisters, and like I said, it's my honor to welcome you into it. So with that, raise your right hand. I, Anthony M. Clas,
I, Anthony M. Clas,
having been appointed officer in the Army of the United States
having been appointed officer in the Army of the United States
in the grade of major,
in the grade of major,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend the Constitution
to support and defend the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully execute the duties
that I will well and faithfully execute the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Major Clas.
Thank you all for coming in early and giving me your time. Ken, I still want to call you Major Rich. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for all the kind words. I really appreciate it. You've been more than help than you know with the thesis. Just allow me to come in your office and vent towards you about the IRB and the other requirements, and that's helped me a lot. To my small group here, I'm humble every day I come here because of the intelligence and the work ethic and just I'm in awe of the quality of officers I've been working with here since I got here. So yes, I come to work with a smile because I know I'm going to learn, and I'm going to feed off my group here to get me through CGSC. And I do feel privileged when I do these PEs with you because I know I'm working with someone else who impresses me every day. So thank you all for being here and enjoy the Einstein's bagels in the back. You have two ladies down there that are not my biggest fans because I ordered that with during their breakfast rush. So I do have enemies now, more so. But next, I'd like to thank the soldiers and NCOs that got me to this point. God knows we don't do this alone. I've had fun my whole time in the Army, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't continue to have fun. So even when folks ask me, so are you going to retire? I say, I don't know. I'm still having fun. If I stop having fun, then maybe I'll get out early. But that crossroad hasn't come yet. So I'm just happy to wear this uniform, and I'm happy to have met the individuals I've worked with throughout my short 10 years in the military. And to my family and friends back home, I want to thank them. I'm recording. This is the first promotion they'll ever see. Technology, it's awesome. High-speed camera over here. But and last but of course not least, my wife, who's on the phone here right next to me, my best friend, my everything. I wouldn't be here without her. I'd be half the person I am, probably in jail. I don't know. I just I know that she keeps me on the right path and that she supports me through everything I do. And she couldn't be here because she's in residency. She joined the Army a little over a year ago, came in as a health provider, and she made that choice to serve as well. So I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't believe the Army was a great organization. I definitely wouldn't have my family coming in if I didn't believe the same as well. So honey, I love you. Thanks for joining us. I have the video up as soon as I can so you can see all this fun. And enjoy your sleep, okay? All right, baby. I love you. All right. Thank you all.
Cool. Some roses.
Awesome, man.
Where's that?
Congratulations.
Coming in from both sides.
Double involvement.
Is that a tactical term?
Thanks, man.
What's this? Thank you very much. Research things. Universities do
Thank you. Yeah, buddy. Thank you.
So,
Got 4 minutes to choke down your neighbors.